Muay Thai clinch. When I get needed a Muay Thai clinch. Got expertise in the Muay Thai. Yeah, better get sweep in the Muay Thai. Needed a clinch. I'll hold it.
Man of the hour.
Hello, sir. How are we doing?
Lovely, lovely. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just trained this morning and yeah, just another day in Bangkok for me.
Fuck yeah, man. You can hear and see me all good, all is well.
Yeah. All good, mate, all good.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Very excited to pick the brain and chat. And I know we've been messaging back and forth a little bit past couple of weeks there, maybe even months, I guess it's been leading up to this. And I mean, man, this is becoming like it's catching the globe by firestorm, this sport. One championship. Muay Thai in general, with the growth of everything. I was lucky enough to work the Amazing Muay Thai Festival, the WBC one in Italy this past summer, and just seeing all the teams. I mean, I was there 2 years ago. There were 600 fighters, now 900, over 90 countries. We were able to bring some fighters from my home city there. Like it's growing, and everyone's getting involved, it seems, man.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's a crazy space to be in at the moment, especially like yeah, my journey to get to this point has been yeah, wouldn't have expected to be here if you'd have said to me a couple of years ago. But yeah, like life happens sometimes and you don't plan things and you just go with the flow.
I'm glad that guy asked you, what are you going to do with your life when you're working in that garden center, man? What the fuck are you going to do? You know, just
Yeah.
stoned as fuck. And
It was funny because I was just journaling a couple of days ago and just thinking about the last couple of years, and then I was just going back in time, and I came to that section of my life, and I'm thinking, wow, it seems like such a long time ago. You kind of don't appreciate the journey sometimes. Everything kind of just you just going with it. You work, and you don't take a step back to think, wow, it's been a crazy journey over the last. That's got to be 15 years now. So
that's
yeah,
incredible, man. I always try and reinforce that. Even before fighters are walking uh through those ropes, I'll grab them by the shoulder. If I'm close with them, I'm not going to try and break their walk through. If I'm close with them, I'll grab them and just take that extra second before you enter the ring. Just take it. Just
yeah,
take that 1, 2 extra seconds to just breathe this all in. Because look what you're doing right now. You know, you've put in the time, the effort, the nutrition, the weight cut, the training, the even the mental hurdle of entering this fight, and now you're here. And
yeah,
when you're working with some of the planet's finest, if not the planet's finest at the moment, I mean the shivers just talking about it, man. It's the best thing in the world because you get what you give into the sport, hands down. And you're a
oh,
testament to that, right? Putting in that much time, working with all these champions, and the fighters themselves as well, obviously building
yeah.
themselves up to where they are today. So,
Yeah, it's like old, people say that cliche, oh, you've got to work hard and hard work pays off. But like if I look back at my life and I think it definitely a testament to that where like I'm definitely not the brightest person in the world, my background with school and stuff, but it just shows you put a bit of effort in and you grind away, you have a bit of a mentality like I'm gonna make this work, I'm gonna make this happen and it can yeah, it can happen if you put your mind to it.
Team DeBella told me to tell you, you're good. Analyze this.
Yeah, that's off the analyze this film. You seen it with Robert De Niro and he goes,
Yeah.
"You're good, dude." They always say that to me, so it's quite a funny thing.
They're awesome, man. I met them in Montreal and always just shoot the shit with them. Those are great guys, and it's exciting to see John get his rematch here against
100%.
Proud and Shy upcoming. So, are you working with Rambolek again for his fight in September here?
So usually with Rumble, like it's kind of like a help on fight week
Hmm.
thing. So most likely going to be working on fight week. I've got Jackie next week. Actually working with Stella too.
Nice.
So working with both of them. Got a guy, Ibrahim, MMA guy, and Tagir. So yeah, four or five people on next week. So
Nice,
yeah.
man. Tagir is one of my favorite fighters. It was funny when one of my first the first one card I ever watched was Tagir fighting, and then Regian was the headliner against Sinsamut, the rematch.
Okay.
Left hook body shot knockout there. But I actually had Tagir on. I did an interview with him. Guy's a gentleman and a half, man,
Oh yeah, such a nice guy. Such a
and
nice guy.
how he took his debut. Hey, it was Raw Tang on a week's notice, and the second fight was 5 days notice.
Yeah.
Ups and downs, but it's good to see you working with him and dial that in, man. Have you noticed anything that looks different since you started working with him?
I just think he's got that, like, the first time I work with somebody, there's always that, I wouldn't say doubt, but they haven't used my methods before, and it's that adjustment period, and it's just convincing, like, look, just listen to what I say, follow the plan, you'll have no problems, and then he does it, and he realize, shit, like, this was pretty easy. Like
That's
we,
awesome.
like what's happened in previous times, like, so he's got that trust in me now, and I've noticed improvements. He's on it with his nutrition all year round. Out to camp, even. I don't know beforehand what he was like with nutrition, but he seems a lot more dialed in. And yeah, so that's a good thing to see with my job, where it's giving them that confidence to go, you know what, I've got someone there who's going to help me with the weight cut. I'm, I'm not doing it on my own now. I've got that confidence that I won't have any issues.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I was just watching just some of your videos there on YouTube, the behind the scenes with Luke Lisi there. I think that was his match against Cody Jerome, our guy from Muay Thai World
Yeah,
Cup,
yeah,
which was
yeah,
sad for us, but
yeah,
was beautiful display of his technique, man. I mean, we couldn't believe that. That's Cody Jerome is no, he's a bull where we're from, man. And
yeah.
to see that happen was so surprising for us. He's a WBC champion, for goodness sake, Muay Thai World Cup finalist, road to one winner. And Luke, yeah, Luke just, he was on. He was absolutely on. It's brilliant to see. Exciting fighter, man.
Yeah, that was the start. That was just the start of the year. Just moved to Bangkok then, and
Hmm.
that was one of the first behind the scenes. So I wanted to do the start of the year, like a bit of behind the scenes stuff with the fighters, and that was my first one. So I always remember that card just for that kind of reason. But yeah, Luke's awesome. Like, um, work with Luke on his debut. He just messaged me a week before. I think he got the fight 10 days notice. He dropped me a message on Instagram saying, "Don't know about this hydration, this weight cut. Can you help me?" And yeah, I remember that time where, because I was working with Jacob Smith as well, Ellis Barboza, and someone else, I can't think. But we were all sitting in the, well, I can't really say, but I'll say, but all sitting in the sauna, and like all different groups of, like, there's Luke from America, Jacob from Liverpool, Ellis. Like, it was just a cool mix of people. Like, my job can bring all different nationalities and cultures together in that one place because they got that connection with working with me. It was yeah, it was quite cool, to be fair.
That's beautiful, man. Just like you're sitting next to Mayweather again, eh? Just this life is madness, man. I mean, even
Yeah.
that festival, I mean, the people that are around, Sidichai, Petch, Mauricio Soliman, for goodness sakes, the WBC brass, all of them. And then just what you get traveling with this thing, man. I was lucky enough to work Madison Square Garden earlier in the year for St. Patty's Day. That was quite the night, and like myself, like you said, you're, just a guy from Liverpool. I'm just a guy from fucking Winnipeg, center of Canada.
Yeah.
And this sport grabs you by the balls, and if you dive deep enough, it gives you it, man. So it's pretty cool to see the different avenues that people can utilize in this route too. Not just fighting, but all the
Yeah.
different avenues.
Yeah, definitely. Like the guy I have who does my, like, videography, he's kind of like, last year he just started off in the space. He started to work with me, and I was doing all the stuff for, all the video stuff for a lot of fighters now with Rod Tang. It's like, that's cool to see, like, his journey as well. And like, there's so many avenues that, as you said, that people can go down in this sport. And if you've got a passion for it, and you're willing to put the hours in, put the effort in, sometimes you might have to do some, free stuff, or, to get yourself out there. But
Mhm.
definitely pays off in the end.
Oh, hands down. Let's get into the nitty-gritty right away here. So I mean,
Sure.
just recently there was I don't know if you probably obviously heard There was a fighter that passed away recently due to a pretty bad weight cut.
Yeah,
And not as extreme. Brian Battle just released from the UFC off of missing weight. Some serious implications that I think go overlooked in a lot of fighters. Look at Hamzat laughing when he went overweight by 10 pounds. I don't care. I smash these guys. Look
yeah,
at there's multiple examples of guys just coming in lackluster, taking the purse reduction, then coming overweight.
yeah.
This can cost your life. This could cost your career. This could cost your contract. Just speak to the importance of it, and if it is, it must be growing the knowledge on the fighter side to utilize this now. But have you noticed it be more wanted in gyms from coaches to have this done properly?
Yeah, I remember when I first started off, and I was this new guy on the block trying to give out like the scientific advice, how to cut weight properly and stuff. And a lot of coaches were like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, we've been doing it our way for this certain number of years. I think the thing with combat sports, it's the culture's so ingrained where this coach did it this way and then his coach did it this way. So the barrier to entry for, you giving the new scientific knowledge was quite hard initially. I noticed like the first, year or so doing the business. I think now people see the benefits of good nutrition and, making weight properly. More high profile fighters are working with people like myself. So I feel now that it's become quite I wouldn't say a trendy thing, but fighters are like, well, I want to get a nutritionist now. It's not an abnormal thing. I
Hmm.
remember when I started working with Liam Harrison, and Liam Harrison's had this maybe 3 years ago, and he's had 100 plus fights, and he'd never had a nutritionist before. And look, the success he had in his
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
Like, for someone like that who's never had his nutrition dialed in, done it himself, it shows that someone like that is noticing, like, right, I need to look after my body here. I need to get things dialed in. And sometimes, you know, having a good nutrition plan or being on top of your nutrition in general can extend your career by potentially a couple of years. There's probably, I would place my money on, the probably a lot of fighters in MMA, the UFC, or even Thailand, where they've made weight terribly for years and years, done big weight cuts, and it's probably cut the career short. Whereas now, like, a lot of these fighters, the top names, especially in one championship, they're like, well, I need to get a nutritionist now because
Mhm.
I know the importance of it. And also, when the fighters are missing weight, they're losing money. If you're on big wages, you could be losing 20-30% of the purse. The kind of media scrutiny from that, like, I give an example with Rod Tang when he missed weight
Promotion scrutiny too, right?
yeah,
Promoter
he
kind of
was,
holds
he was getting
back.
absolutely slated online, like
Yeah.
he's lazy, like this, and like, fighters are human beings, so psychologically, that, he even mentioned to me it took a toll on him where he was just getting constantly, he's not going to make weight, and then he hires a nutritionist, and then the comments are still the same, saying, oh, he's still going to miss weight, he's lazy. So um, I've definitely noticed a positive trend now where guys are like, right, you know, I can't do this on my own anymore. I need to have someone there and, have that support network, because I look at my job as, it's not just giving a meal plan, it's knowing that Pete's there, like Haggerty, Liam, where they're not following a plan all year round, but they're like, I know if I need something, I need to pick Pete's brain. Pete's there. He's gonna respond. He's gonna give me the right information. So it's having that support network there, and yeah, it's definitely a positive trend now where fighters are getting on board.
That's beautiful, man. Did you did you see Jake Peacock's debut in his career since he started? Is
Yeah,
that his
so
name?
I work with Jake
Oh,
in Qatar.
beautiful.
Yeah, I
Okay,
helped him out on his fight week plan. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah,
yeah,
quite the talent, man. Quite the talent. It's like his domination, his finishing power too is crazy. I mean, I was ringside for his semifinal and his final fights at Muay Thai World Cup. Um, the semifinal, he knocked the guy's teeth out, and they kept fighting. And coach, the fighter pulled out his mouthpiece, is trying to explain to the coach, "My teeth are out," and the coach is telling him a game plan.
Yeah.
He puts the teeth in his pocket and he's like, all right, spanks him. He's like, all right, go back out there. But it was just a brawl, man. And then first round stoppage, beautiful Muay Thai World Cup. And then obviously this domination he's had in one. I honestly, just from how the styles are, I would love to see Nabil versus Jake. I would love to see Nabil versus Jake. I think that would be bananas. Nabil is so long. Jake is so unorthodox. I think that makes a ridiculous matchup.
Yeah, the bantamweight division is probably the most entertaining division in one. There's so many fighters that you could pick from. It's probably the most active one in terms of fighters that I work with. I work with so many bantamweights at the moment, and obviously it's interesting because then fighters end up fighting each other who work with me, which is always an interesting,
Crazy.
conversation. But yeah, Jake Shaw, like helped Jake in Qatar, like lovely guy, all his team, super nice, and that's the good thing about my job. I'm so lucky to work with people who are just like awesome, like so good, like the Bellas. You've got such a good relationship with them. It makes my job so much easier rather than like you work with people who, got a bit of an attitude or they feel a bit righteous. Like everyone I work with in like one championship and stuff is I couldn't say anything bad about them. Like all awesome people.
That's honestly the sport. Like, if you picked 100 people out of the sport, 100 of them are going to be solid fucking people.
Yeah.
From what I've experienced too, and I've only been in this game for a short 2.5 years, but from everyone that I've been blessed to be able to speak with, it's first of all, they're very welcoming and excited that you want to talk about it because I think that it's still, I don't think we're there yet. I know one is growing. I know Muay Thai is growing. Even combat sports in general, UFC is making their big breakthrough, especially recently. Um, but I think we're still yet to reach a pinnacle. Even with this new era, with 4 ounce Muay Thai, with the interest of okay, now MMA you're hearing in UFC you're hearing oh Khalil Roundtree is training at Bangtao. They're actually talking about Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Um, I think we're yet to experience something like that. What do you think? Is it just going to be a continuation of one in the shows? Do you think more promotions need to rise up? What do you think it needs to transcend?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think definitely like one Lumpini's helped with the growth. Now it's there's a platform now to go. Because I remember when I started working in the one space, it was like very difficult to get onto one championship. Now Lumpini's got like a pathway through. Um, yeah, that's a good question. I think like for me, when like UK Muay Thai scene's really good. Like I lived in Australia for 6.5 years, so the Australian Muay Thai scene is really good.
Mhm.
And there's constant like chain of good fighters coming through, and some of them aren't necessarily fighting on one championship. Some of them are fighting in like on Rise and K1, and
1774, Charlie Bubb, that
yeah.
title fight, ridiculous. Charlie's a murderer,
So
man. Those shows are
like
great.
in Australia, I think I've got like the Australian Muay Thai scene. I've got two WBC world champions, two female fighters. Like there's really good talent coming out there. So I think
Mhm.
it's just continually growing, and if one championship keeps doing what they're doing, and put on the shows, giving the fighters the opportunities. Because a lot of fighters that I work with have been given opportunities on really short notice, where they've been offered to fight on like the prime shows with 3-4 weeks notice, completely changed their lives, and they're fully on the roster. They're having 3-4 fights a year, so it's definitely moving in the right direction.
Yes. Oh yeah, the prime partnerships, the American shows. I mean, obviously just having it on YouTube especially is massive, and then the social media push. And then all of these, I've put it like it's the Willy Wonka, the golden ticket, where you have all these road to one championships around the world, right? You have the American one, the Canadian one. I think there's some in Malaysia or in China or something like that that has road to one as well, in Asia out there.
Yeah,
Um,
they've had one in I know they've done it in Thailand, they've done it in the UK.
Oh yeah, Liam Harrison's show, right? Hitman, they do Road to One.
Yeah, they did a
Uh,
road to a couple of years ago as well. I had a guy who was in the final. and I think they've had one. Yeah, I know from memory they've had one in Thailand too. So yeah, it's definitely creating opportunities. And with the one Lumpini, like I've got some fighters who are fighting 5, 6 times a year on one Lumpini, and
Hmm.
they're fighting on a big platform. I assume they're getting paid more than they would be on like the shows that are in their home country, and they've got that platform, and like they know if they're continuously winning, you know, getting knockouts, that leads to the chance.
Bonus.
Yeah,
If you're
bonus.
performing, you're getting that bonus. Yeah, yeah.
You're getting $10,000 bonuses, I think it works out, and yeah, it's definitely growing now. And for me, from like a business point of view, like all these shows are popping up, and like Lumpini's getting busier, so fighters like it comes back to the fighters now want to get the nutrition dialed in. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a win-win. The fighters are getting more exposed, and they want to work with a professional, so more fighters are coming on board to want to work with me. So yeah,
Long way from cooking the meals and delivering the food in your car, eh? In Liverpool there.
yeah, I look back at that and think that was a very, very hard job doing the
Nah,
cooking. That was a
that's
lot,
not, I was
that
a
was
chef
long
for 9 years and I've done catering, but so
Oh
I
man.
wouldn't imagine delivering and driving separately on
Yeah,
top of
it was
that.
the cooking was a hard day because I think it was only me and my sister that were doing it. Um, and then I had to deliver it all around Liverpool, and it was like someone wasn't in, so you'd have to go and deliver to someone else, and then you go back, and then it's like, yeah.
Fucking
But
hell, man.
it's good experiences,
I
definitely.
um I ran into Richard Smith, Badco out in Italy as well. I met him in 2023, but recognized me seeing him. It was again in Italy, the same festival. And it was very cool, man, because the gym that we held tryouts at in my city in Winnipeg here, the gold medalist, it was a gold medal fight was our guy against Richard's guy. And this
Okay,
is
cool.
Winnipeg. Our guys
Yeah,
have never had an experience like this. They've never had they've had IFMA and they've had, some Pan Am tournaments here and there, but they've never had this level gym against them in a
yeah,
tournament like this, that setting.
that's good.
And it was funny too, because right next to the ring, speaking of you saying, some of your guys are fighting your guys. We had two of our light heavyweight guys, and in the gold medal match, it just so happened they were fighting each other.
Oh no way.
Yeah, Winnipeg versus Winnipeg. So it was pretty crazy to see them out there performing, but they put on, man. We ended up bringing home a gold, two silver, and a bronze. In Team Canada, we brought out 45 to 50 fighters this year. Just 2 years ago, we only had six. So now we have one of the boys fighting on Muay Thai World Cup, and there's Road to One tournaments coming up as well. So we're seeing these platforms being built, absolute staircases,
Yeah,
with the amateur tournaments that are tied to this show as well. So, we have juniors fighting seven, eight, nine. We're really trying to build it up as much as we possibly can to send killers your guys' way on our side. Heck,
yeah,
I'll just tell you, even myself, I'm working on it right now to put on Muay Thai World Cup in Winnipeg. I was handed the reins to
nice.
get basically put together the show here with
Oh, that's good.
Kettle's blessing. So it's been just an absolute fucking shit show.
Hey, all parts of the fun. All parts of the fun.
Yeah, yeah, in the best way, possible. Yeah, man. Yeah. So you were in Thailand. You were just traveling last week. Yeah, where were you again?
I went to Vietnam. I just went for a couple of days because I'm on a digital nomad visa here now. So it's
Yeah,
like a business visa. So you have to kind of leave the country every few months and come back again. So it was just a
little
short
reset. Yeah.
reset. It's always good to have a bit of reset because Bangkok's sometimes it becomes like a very big city and very busy. So it's nice to be in a little bit of nature and reset.
Nice. I was supposed to go to the festival last year, which was in Bangkok at the Lumpini Stadium, the
Okay.
WBC Amazing Muay Thai Festival, and I sent my brother, and we were living in Toronto at the time, and I sent him for a week. I had to stay home with my dog, and I sent him for a week, and he stayed for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. It just sucks you in, and
Yeah, I've been here. I've lived here properly for 8 months now, and last year I was here for maybe like 4 or 5 months. And if you'd have said to me 2 years ago, I'd be living in Bangkok, I'd be like, absolutely not. Definitely not living in Bangkok. And now here I am. So it's just, yeah.
Were you in Australia before that?
Yeah, so I moved to Australia in 2017. Lived over east, lived in like Melbourne, Sydney, then moved to Perth. Was in Perth for like 4 years, and then more fights started. Like as the business started to grow, I realized like being in Perth probably wasn't the best place to be in right now for you kind of have two options where, option A is like you stay in Perth and you take over and the business will, you know, grow but not grow, you know, very, very quickly. And I thought, well, I need to travel and get the experience in, go to as many events as I can. So I decided to kind of like travel around for a couple of years, go back to the UK, Thailand, and just gain that knowledge and that hands-on experience. And um, like yeah, I've done so many events now, and I think that's invaluable. You can have all the scientific knowledge and the degrees and stuff, but when you're actually there in person, fight week, the emotions, the different personalities you have to deal with, like that all just comes from experience. Really, it's hard to do it just on a laptop.
And the travel too, like the commuting, all of that, all the little ins and outs, even keeping yourself hydrated and properly
Yeah.
fed during these events. I know shit can go crazy when you're so busy covering other guys, you're so focused on them. You kind of almost run yourself dry, especially if you're doing back-to-back events.
Yeah,
Was
like
that
this.
kind of part of the reason you moved to Bangkok? Was just one was just it was that
Yeah.
busy?
So last year, I was in Australia January time, and then I had a couple of one events at the start of the year, and then I just ended up having fighters on the card every prime show. Like it went from like once every couple of months, like every card. So they kept on coming back, and then it was Christmas time last year. I was in Australia, and I was just thinking next year. I knew what was coming up. I knew like Nabil was fighting Nico, and Rodtang, Takira. Like I had all these fights lined up, and I thought it makes sense practically to be based in Bangkok instead of coming from Perth because it's a 6 hour flight. And as you said, the traveling back, the time wasted. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's get a lease on a condo here, make some moves, and I did it. And then the start of the year for me was crazy because it was like Luke's fight was the start of the year, and then a couple of weeks later it was Nico and Nabil. Then the following week, Ellis was fighting Prajin side, and the following week, John was fighting in Qatar with Jake as
Yeah.
well. And then the following week was another prime card. Then the following week was Rodtang Takeru. So it was like
Fuck.
I think 6 out of the 8 weeks at the start of the year, I had fight weeks. So it was crazy. And when them fight weeks finished, I kind of didn't know what to do with myself because it'd been so busy, like back to back to back to back. And I had like it went back to being like a show every 4 or 5 weeks. So after Rodtang and Takeda, I was thinking, I don't really know what to do with myself here. Like I've been so busy. It was yeah, it was crazy, man. And then that was a for me, that was the reason why I moved. I thought I couldn't have done that being in Australia. Like that would have just been far too much travel. Obviously, like the cost of doing that too. And so yeah, it's a good decision. I'm probably going to stay here till the end of the year and then like reevaluate. So I was trying to give myself like year, 6 month cycles. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a wise decision to move to Bangkok this year.
That dude, that explained because I was in a fucking just rut where I felt absolutely fucked after it's not one, but I was covering back-to-back events in Toronto and Ottawa and Calgary, and then the international one in Italy and New York was before, and it was like 6 or 7, and then we had our tryouts. Obviously, just a ton of shit, and it all stopped. And I've had people asking, so how are you doing now? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm going to start the podcast again, but I feel fucked. I don't know. I mean, I just it's
Yeah,
there's shows in November. I think there's 4 shows in November that we got. We have Anawat Kal Samrit coming to Winnipeg actually for a seminar as well.
that's cool.
We'll have a little piece of Thailand in Winnipeg here, which is so fucking rare. I mean, center of fucking prairie Canada. It's not really happening a bunch.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very, very lucky. WBC Canada President Kieran Kettle has been very close with him. He's the promoter of Muay Thai World Cup there.
Yeah,
And
speak to him quite a bit. Like, Kieran,
oh,
yeah,
nice.
nice guy. Yeah.
Have you met him before in person or
Never
out there?
actually met him. I never actually met him just through
Okay.
like Instagram and like he was the one who reached out about Jake, asking me to help
Hmm.
with Jake stuff like that. So
No shit.
yeah,
No,
so
he's lovely. I mean, so it went from watching Tagir and Regan fight to um, interviewing Regan after that win, and that's how this kind of all started. And I got to cover Muay Thai World Cup, and I remember being so serious. You know, when you're serious and you're nervous and you're trying to be serious and take this new job
yeah,
opportunity. As far as you can go. Kieran comes and pokes me in the belly mid co-event as I'm filming, mid fight. He's not even looking at it, and he's like, "You having fun?" And just a silly guy, man. And you notice the love of the sport, and that's where Muay Thai World Cup Winnipeg came from, and our Team Canada going out there. And it's again just such a blessing when you meet these guys that they see something, and they fan the flame a bit and see where it can go. And it's opening up the country really. What he's done with Muay Thai World Cup, and in extension, bringing out fighters to one. So I mean, I can't speak enough good graces about the WBC in general about what's happening. So. My dream, and I know I'm rambling here. My dream would be to have WBC and one belts unified. I would love to see title fights like that at some point
like
down the line.
you never know. You never know
Yeah,
in this sport. You never know.
yeah, it would be something great. I know I've tugged your ear for a little bit here, there, Pete. I don't like to go too long, but I do appreciate you having you on. Tell me about the next week coming up for you. What's hot for you, and anything else we should keep an eye on?
So this week pretty quiet. End of the week will be planning fight weeks for the guys and girls on the prime card. So Jackie, Stella, Ibrahim, Tagia,
Beauty.
uh, getting them getting them on point. Go to Wayne's next week, help them out, and then after that, I fly back to the UK for a couple of weeks just to see the family, bit of a reset, and then when I get back, straight to the Bellas fight week and yeah, we just keep on going for the rest of the year, and then Japan, and then yeah, and then it's the end of the year, and you think, where's time gone?
Madness, absolute madness, man. We'll be cheering on from this side of the pond. I should be in Bangkok end of November, so I'll give you a shout if you're
Oh,
in town.
yeah, yeah. Hit me up, mate, definitely.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the time, and yeah, guys, again, if you're ever in Bangkok, and if fighters, you fighters taking it seriously that are watching, give Peter a shout if you're getting to that point in your career where it's needed. So you know where to find him at Condition Nutrition. Again, my man, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day out there.
Pleasure. Speak to you soon, mate.
Thank you, Peter. Take
See you
care, man.
later.
Cheers.
Peace.